And thanks for watching. I'm Dustin Runyon. This week at Otterbein, the football team won on homecoming, and Greek life is hitting a peak in interest. But first, we will look into a new magazine you may have seen around campus. Grace Lanahan has the story.
Saturday, the 21st of September, the African American Student Union is releasing a student magazine that hasn't been published in 14 years. The publication is called Harambe, and Junior Natasha Shorts, a staff member at the magazine, tells us more.
Well, Harambe is a magazine that came out in the 90s. It was through African American Student Union. It was basically a magazine targeted for minorities on campus to just give a place where we can really speak our voice and the things that we go through in our communities. So it's not just, even though it is focused on African American life, it's we were trying to get ISA and OLA, like all different minorities to come together. And it's like a place we can unite on paper and then hopefully unite on campus.
The magazine's former staff had graduated and no one had stepped up to take it over. That was until Shorts happened upon a few issues while she was looking through the library archives for a class project.
So I went to the archives and I found these things called Harambe, these magazines, and I'm like, what in the world? Where have these things been? And they were just amazing. And I was just shocked, like all the different topics they talked about, how like they were just so relatable to me. And I was just, there's something about seeing the old magazines that just gets inside your heart and you're just like, yes, okay, I wanted this, I want to be a part of this, I want to bring this back.
The magazine's advisor, James Prysick, tells us a little more of what the magazine is all about.
Harambe means pulling together, Swahili. And so that we're using that concept to just try to put things out there to highlight different people on campus and to also help unify the campus as well.
The magazine was produced fully by a committed group of students.
Writing, the advertisements, the design, and most of us, none of them are journalism majors except for me. And everyone was just a writer. Like everyone came in as like, okay, I can write. And so all of us being able to do, like, fit into all these categories, like it was just basically commitment.
Overall, the goal of Harambe is to unite the students of Otterbein's campus.
So I just really hope that it like brings us all on paper together so we can just come together in other areas.
And this magazine kind of takes those people from the different cover zones and puts them in one place for everyone to see.
All these past couple of days, you may have noticed North Grove Street has been closed to vehicles. Otterbein has a permit to assess the Grove concept in collaboration with the city of Westerville. The school is planning to turn Grove Street into a public pedestrian mall between Main and Home. The hope is that it will be enjoyed by not only Otterbein students, but the greater Westerville community as well. This temporary closing is being used as a study to offer evidence of the possibility of shutting down the street to traffic and detouring it to North and West State Street. The closure began Saturday the 21st for homecoming and is now reopened today. The information from the study will be assessed to decide whether or not to shut down the road to traffic permanently in the future. Well, internships are a big deal for college students looking to build a resume for the future. This past Tuesday, students with a different range of internships gathered in the campus center to talk about their professional experiences. We caught up with Ashley Strasser, internship coordinator from the Center of Career and Professional Development, who told us why the event was organized.
It's just an opportunity to raise awareness about internships and professional experiences that are available to Otterbein students. And so we wanted to create an event. We knew that we had a lot of students who were doing really great internships, and we wanted for other students to hear about those opportunities. And so we wanted to create an event that would allow students to share about their experiences and to highlight those with underclassmen, undergrads, specifically first years and sophomores, to really learn about internship opportunities and, ask questions of their peers. How did you find your internship? Were there other internship opportunities that you explored? How did you decide on interning at this particular organization? What roles and responsibilities did you take on? What kind of advice do you have for me as a first year or a sophomore who will be doing an internship down the road? So again, just really to raise awareness about opportunities available.
A former Otterbein theater professor faces charges of sexual imposition, unlawful restraint, and disorderly conduct. Ed Vaughn is accused of inappropriately touching a woman during a performance. The alleged victim claims Vaughn pulled her close to him, put his hand inside her back of her pants, and touched her buttocks. Vaughn was put on leave when the charges were filed, and he has since retired for more than 20 years of teaching at the university. Vaughn faces an October hearing regarding this matter, and we will have more for you that hopefully later this month. So Danny, what have we got going on in entertainment this week?
Well, it's a busy time across campus this week as Otterbein Greek Life prepares for rush season. Jon Bozeka has more.
14% of the Otterbein population is Greek life. And this week, with Rush taking place at the Bein, students have the choice of getting involved or not. Otterbein Greek Life Director Michael Stumpf explains.
The next couple nights, they'll get an opportunity to go around all the different sorority houses and kind of see the houses and meet all the sororities. And then from there, it kind of goes into a mutual selection process of them picking which chapters they want to see again, the chapters picking which kind of women they want to invite back to their next round of novelty parties and finalty parties. And it'll all wrap up on October 6th.
Last year, a few of the Greek life chapters on campus were on probation for a bit due to some of their actions. With Rush taking place, Stumpf tells the chapters to simply be truthful.
At your events that you hold, be upfront with the new members, especially the new students that might be scared off a little bit about what happened and kind of what you're doing to address that situation.
Students looking to get involved in Greek life may tend to group together, although Vice President of Sigma Alpha Tau, Hillary Rowland, feels just the opposite.
Go to the parties or sororities, like events that you feel most comfortable at. Don't go where your friends want to go, because I know it's always kind of awkward, like if your roommate wants to go somewhere and you're just going there because your roommate goes there, but it's really important to go where you feel at home, where you feel comfortable, where you feel that connection.
For This Week at Otterbein, Jon Bozeka reporting.
Stumpf went on to say that interest in Greek life is up from last year. Many new students have found an interest in the many different Otterbein chapters that Otterbein has to offer. Well, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, the theater department is doing its first show of the season. The Classroom Projects will be premiering tonight, September 26th, in the Campus Center. The Classroom Projects is a fall and spring show, and this show is called No Exit. The show will start at 8 p.m. and run to Saturday the 28th. This show is free to Otterbein students. The seating is general admission. Well, John, how are our Otterbein Cardinals doing this week?
Well, Danny, the Otterbein football team had a rough week one, losing 28-0 to St. John Fisher. Although this past weekend on homecoming, the Tannen Cardinal defeated the Wilmington Quakers 30-14. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. So as we kick things off here, first touchdown for the Otterbein Cardinals. It was Ben Sizemore rolling out to his right, and he found the wide open Steve Carpenter in the near corner of the end zone, making it 7-0 in the first quarter. But before long, Wilmington would answer back. As we see here, Brandon Earhart fades back, and he finds his favorite target over the middle in the end zone in Kyle Akers, making the score 7-7, the 9:14 mark in the second quarter. But Otterbein would answer back as Ben Sizemore would fade back and find his favorite target of the day, Jeremy McCoy. There was a flag on the play, but the score would count. McCoy had 9 catches for 95 yards on the day and a great day. But once again, here comes Wilmington. The Quakers this time, Earhart gives the handoff to Zach Kruer, and Kruer goes all the way 41 yards for the touchdown, and it's 14-14 as we head into halftime on homecoming day. And as we see right here, we see the homecoming king and queen being greeted by friends and family, Andrew Cezerba and Paige Shortgen. Congratulations to both of them, and before long it was time for football again. As we see here, Alana Gaither out of the hold of Brick Davis kicks the 20-yard field goal right here, making the score 17-14. From here on out, the Cardinals would score the rest of the points. That score by Alana Gaither. Then the big handoff right here to Drew Irving. The big man rumbles 19 yards for a score, making the score 24-14 Cardinals. And then the next score would pretty much put it away for the Cardinals, as it would be Ben Sizemore, the senior, to another senior. Sizemore fades back, looks over the middle, and there's Stephen Carpenter in the end zone, and the final score would end up being 30-14. The Cardinals would come out on top on the Wilmington Quakers. This week, Otterbein will look to continue their winning ways as they will travel up to University Heights to meet the John Carroll Blue Streaks. JCU comes into the game 2-0, coming off a big win over Baldwin Wallace, 27-7. The boys from the Cleveland area have averaged 34 points per game offensively and only given up 3 points per game defensively. It will not be an easy task for the Cardinals. Kickoff for the game is set for 7 p.m. on Saturday under the lights at Don Shula Stadium. If you cannot be at the game, you can hear it on 97.5 WOBN as myself and David Kinder will have the call. Pre-game will start at 6:45. Well, the Otterbein volleyball team was in action last night and won 3-1 over Kenyon. The Kenyon ladies came into the game 0-11 on the season. The game was shown here on OTV, and after the win, our own Jacob Barker caught up with head coach Monica McDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Barker here along with head coach Monica McDonald. The Cardinals pulling victorious 3-1. Coach, it seemed like when the third set started to hit, the Lords were starting to creep back into it a little bit. You put your backups in, gave them a little experience, none the worse for wear, but just tell us what was going through your mind at that point in the game.
I thought momentum was on our side. We wanted to play some other individuals today. A lot of those girls, that you were seeing have seen action in big matches. So, yeah, we played a lot of kids, but we tend to play a lot of players in different matches. Breaking up the momentum like that might not have been the wisest choice on my part, but anytime you can struggle through a match and grow from it, hopefully we see the results and the benefits of that later on down the road.
Now, looking at that it helped expose the depth of this team, and talk about how much that means when you're not just relying on one player as the anchor, but rather when somebody goes down like Annie Junger does, the team's there for support.
Yeah, we knew we weren't going to have Annie. We're probably not going to have Annie tomorrow. And, it's nice to see some different players, step up there. And, maybe when a backup stepped in and wasn't having a great game, we also had another player to put right in there as well. So I was actually impressed with the players that did step in. I think it was just as a whole, and even some of our, normal day-to-day starters maybe were having a little bit of an off day.
Coming into this game, the Lords were 0-11 and riding a 23-game losing streak. What is your preparation when a team that's 13th ranked in the country is going up against a team that's on the opposite end? How do you prepare for your players for that, or can you?
Honestly, it's a great week for us because we had Kenyon today, and we obviously felt like we were the better team. And then tomorrow we have an NAIA team. Although they'll be strong, it's not a game that can hurt us in NCAA Division III rankings or in regional rankings. So it was a really nice, we just got to focus on us Monday and Tuesday, play Wednesday and Thursday, and then we can actually do some game prep for John Carroll, which is a really important match for us here on Saturday. So we honestly just focused on Otterbein stuff, and that could have been a little bit of the problem potentially, but I think that's going to help us, down the road a little bit.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck tomorrow. Back in action.
The Otterbein women's soccer team took the pitch on Wednesday at Kenyon College. The game would end in a tie 1-1. Otterbein would score the first goal when reigning OAC Player of the Week Jillian Strimbu scored her third goal of the season. However, in the 67th minute of the game, Kenyon's Maggie Smith would tie it up with a goal of her own, making the final 1-1. Otterbein's women's soccer team falls to a record of 3-3-1 on the season, and they will look to get win number 4 on Sunday when they play at Hiram College at 2 p.m. The Otterbein men's soccer team slipped to 4-4 with a 2-0 loss to Oberlin College on Wednesday. Oberlin scored their first goal when Enzo Kabili converted a penalty kick in the 35th minute. Then the Yeomen made it 2-0 when Adam Chazin Gray darted in and scored off a rebound. Oberlin improved to 6-1-1 with the victory in Westerville. The Otterbein men will play their next game at home against Earlham this Saturday at 2 p.m. So, Dustin, a big week coming up in sports, a big weekend as Otterbein travels up to JCU, and the soccer teams have a couple big games as well.
Yeah, just a good week for Otterbein sports. And don't forget to catch some NCAA action and some NFL action this weekend, too.
It's true.
Well, on behalf of our entire news crew here at Otterbein TV, I'm Dustin Runyon, reminding you to make this week at Otterbein a great week at Otterbein. Have a great weekend.